Yo, this is Deontay the Bronx Bummer Wild, the WBC heavyweight champion of the world. And I'd like to give a big shout out to CJ Goodfellow of Sports TV. Bomb Squad, baby.
All right, man. Let's talk about how Al Haymon finessed the game. I did a live on this. I believe I did a live on this. I think it was Tuesday. It was vertical live. I was like, well, let's just do a video version of it. So yeah, thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Next subscribe button is the bell icon. And for the most part, what pretty much spawned this video again was that, you know, I heard it through the grapevine that Al Haymon is telling people that he's sick, but he really not sick. Remember, Jamal Charlo just did the live and said they got to make their own fights because Al Haymon's sick. We all heard that basically, allegedly, that he's hiding out. And he's probably allegedly hiding out with a lot of their money. Oh, this video is all alleged. He's probably hiding out with a lot of their money. You know, and he don't really have a bunch of fight dates. And the good word in the street is one of Sam Watson's sons is running the company right now. So, you know, no networks is messing with him. Netflix, HBO. You know, he done messed over too many people. You know what I'm saying? His name was bad in the music industry is one of the reasons he pivoted into the boxing industry. And maybe you like, maybe he was just a really, really shrewd operator. You know, maybe he was a really shrewd operator and did what's right by his artist or by the artist and got as much money as possible. And that's why they got him about the music industry. But, you know, for the most part, that ain't the case. We seeing, you know, why he got ran about the music industry is because he's greedy. And some of the finesse moves that, you know, he done made in the sport of boxing, think about it. You know, allegedly Waddle and Reed gave him $1.5 billion, I believe it was. Or it might have just been $1 billion. I think it was $1.5 billion. Right? This is a rumor. And he took whatever it was, $1.5 billion, he took 500 off the top. And basically what was happening was, you know, that money was to fund the business. So he was paying the fighters in Showtime, or Showtime would pay the fighters, you know, fighters basically getting paid twice. And I assume that allegedly that Al Haymon was pocketing some of that Showtime money and paying his fighters out of that, you know, that Waddle and Reed, allegedly that investment money. So Showtime really was kind of paying double the purse. Now, the reason Showtime really paid attention to that was two reasons. One, Floyd Mayweather was no longer fighting for them, so the money wasn't there no more. They, you know, and then when kind of like the pandemic hit, you know, a lot of people money got funny, so a lot of people started, you know, looking to cut back. You know, your money get funny, you cut back on necessities. Whether it's, you know, trips to Disney World, or whether it's going to the movies, or whether it's cutting the cable off or eating out, you cut off the little necessities until you bounce back a little bit, right? So they started probably looking at their programming and started looking like, you know, really, you know, Showtime Boxing and a few other things, our sports department or our sports division, we don't really need them no more. We don't need that no more. We trying to compete with ESPN for what? ESPN and Fox Sports is over there struggling. So if they struggling, you know we struggling. So they got rid of that whole sports division, documentaries, you know what I'm saying, NFL, you know. But you got to understand they got different divisions, and Showtime is under Viacom, CBS, Showtime, Nickelodeon, MTV, BET. So they start looking at the books and say, man, you know, we giving them all this money, and they not bringing a return. We losing. We in the red. Let's cut them off. And Al was getting paid twice. He was getting paid twice. Paying the fighters, then paid again by Showtime allegedly and pocketing the dough. So that's one hustle. You know, then, you know, allegedly he would hold the fighters' money and pay it out in increments. they will probably get a check after a fight for a nice sum, and the rest of the money would allegedly come in increments. I've seen Coach Malachi do a video with Abner Mares. A few people in Abner Mares confirmed that. But the thing about any time people hold your money, it's supposed to accrue interest. They call it behind the scenes, he's allegedly reinvesting the money and then paying it out straight. So he's accumulating interest on their money, right? But then when it comes time to pay it out, he paying it out straight. So he pocketing the interest and paying it out straight. So that's two hustles right there. That's two financial hustles he got in the same sport. And then the other hustle is when these fighters need an advance on money, and this is popular in boxing. You know, these fighters might need some money to get them through a tough time, especially fighting once or twice a year. He front them money, or he lend them money, but he put points on it. And basically what that means is, you know, he put interest on it. So he holds your money and pay it out straight. He holds your money and pay it out straight. You know? But when you need a loan, he put points on it. He had interest on it. You know? Getting over like a fat rat. Getting over like a fat rat. So, yeah, he got it's one of the greatest, you know, white collar moves you will see. And they all gave him the economy to do so. Think about that. They all gave him the power to do so. They all gave him the power to do so. You know, it's one of the greatest finesse moves of all time. He finessed Wilder and Reed. He finessed Showtime and other networks out of money. He finessed his own fighters on multiple levels. Meanwhile, you know, not wanting to make the best fights possible. Think about that. They not want to make the best fights possible. Think about that. He did not want to make the best fights possible. He did not want to make the best fights possible. You know, that was not his MO. Destroyed these dudes' careers. Paid them not to fight, paid them not to fight other top fighters. Not only in boxing, but on their own company. He didn't even make the best fights on PBC. He held them guys from against each other. Remember, he lost Leo Santa Cruz in the Golden Boy lawsuit. He was one of the fighters he lost. First thing Oscar De La Hoya tried to do was make Leo and Rigondeaux. Al Haymon came back, bought Leo Santa Cruz contract to pull him out of that fight because he didn't want to fight Rigondeaux. What did Leo do? He named his son Al after Al Haymon for coming and saved his ass. And that's why, Leo Santa Cruz got a reputation for being a duck. A nice duck, but he's a duck. The Mexicans supposed to be these warriors and they'll fight anybody. Not in this generation. It's like any other fighter. Don't forget, we was on the cusp of getting Sergey Kovalev versus Donna Stevenson. Remember that? They was in negotiations. That was a fight that a lot of people wanted to see at the time. They both of them was on top of their game at the light heavyweight division. Al Haymon came in, destroyed all that, pulled Stevenson out of negotiations, probably asked for a bunch of money, allegedly, and took Adonis Stevenson over to Showtime. Took him over to Showtime. Peter Quillen, told him to drop his belt so he couldn't work with Jay-Z's Rock Nation and make the Matt Korobov fight. What happened? Dropped his belt. Andy Lee knocked out Matt Korobov. He paid Peter Quillen the last $500,000. You know what I'm saying? Andy Lee beat Corbin for the belt. Peter Quillen fought Andy Lee to a draw and, you know, never regained the world title again. So this is pretty much his motivation. This is what he does. Many fights. Many fights. Many fights. So, you know, he's been destroying them. He's been, you know, pimping his own fighters. That's what he's been on. So, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. But that's all Haymon for you. Believe it or not, that's Big Al. No Diddy. That's who he is. You know, and hasn't been one superstar yet. Since he been in the game, the first guy was Roberto. He tried to build with Bill. You know, out the amateurs, it ain't work. Danny Jacobs ain't work. Keith Garvin didn't work. Aaron Spence didn't work. Go on and on and on again like Eric Badu. You know, he's failed. You know, never wanted to make a big fight, messed over multiple networks. But for him, it's a win. He made a whole bunch of money. He fucked over a whole bunch of people. You'll see he fucked over a whole bunch of his fighters. You'll see that. But hey, thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, subscribe